We're live once again. Good morning, everybody. Saturday morning in the United States. We're going to be live on Spaces here in just a minute. I've learned to just go live a few minutes before, if I can, which I could. I can this morning, so. Hope everybody's doing good. What was I going to say? Light up my YouTube channel, guys, and my Twitter. Light up everybody's channel on Twitter, especially Grays people on Pulse Chain. Okay, Grays in this order. Take care of the Grays, Pulse Chain, broader crypto. Sub, like, comment, all that stuff. Hey, wannabe. Work for your bags in whatever capacity you can. If it's just a heart on Twitter, do that. If you can. Oh, something I learned this week is when you repost, always quote if you can, because it helps the algorithm. If you can, do a quote post. And I've been trying to get into that habit. It's important. It's important to be. Okay, most of crypto adoption comes from Twitter and YouTube, like 65%. Both Crypto Coffee and myself have done polls, and that's what we have found. You know, how did you learn about crypto? Where did you learn about crypto or this XYZ crypto? Twitter, YouTube, and then 35% somewhere else. I wonder if I'm missing something. I better check my messages because sometimes the spaces have issues. And so what we'll do, like what Zen will do, is restart the Twitter space. And he has the ability to start. There it goes. Got it. Join the space. Oh, cool. Good morning. Hey, this is like the third or fourth space that worked right off the go. I haven't had to restart.
On your end?
Remember a few weeks ago how you were having to restart the spaces or start a new one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, on my end. Yeah. Actually, the reason I was like 1 to 2 minutes late is I couldn't get Twitter to like load up for some reason. It was acting kind of funny. But
okay.
Just took a few minutes.
How are you doing this morning?
Good. I'm actually at the office right now. We're so slammed at work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
but
it's that season, spring, summer.
Yeah, you can't complain when markets are down to be busy at work.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I'm just thankful that there's more sunlight out. I love it. Winter in the north, I'm a lot more north than you are, and our winters are just brutal. I don't care for them. So it's just so dark. But now it's sunny out. Wonderful. What's going on in crypto land?
I know. Anything interesting this week? I'm trying to think.
I can think of a few things.
All right, let's hear it.
Marketing, man. I mean, the Gray's currencies have been, well, you know, sometimes you don't have like a complete reno, but you just do a little cleaning up, you know, but it just resets everything. Like every once in a while, my desk will get cluttered with stuff and sticky notes and things, and it just gets kind of dull and it feels clunky and all that. But I'll take 5 minutes and clean it up, and it's like oh man, just I feel so much better about my workspace now, And we did something like that in the Grace currencies over the past couple weeks. Got new logos. We got new logos for each pTGC and UFO. And then we even got a combined logo, which I don't think we ever had before. And then we started some new marketing efforts, and it was just from my perspective, it was a needful. I didn't even know we needed it. It was a needful sort of reset that we did, and the timing of it, Zen, was from my perspective, just perfect, because I feel like we're staged for adoption, which we are anticipating to come. So I think we leveled up in the last week or two.
Yeah, just for everyone listening, do you want to maybe give a little summary about what you're working on with the marketing and kind of your idea there, and maybe if anyone wants to come up, share ideas, comments, suggestions, anything like that?
Sure. So we were now, you just interrupt me. I'm going to try not to disclose too much information, but we were advised by somebody that I think, Zen, you and I look up to in the space, that because pTGC and UFO are meme-like or memeable or have meme-like characteristics, and because people on other chains like Solana have for many months been chasing memes and filling their bags with, making profits from meme tokens, we were advised to lean into the meme aspect of the Grace currencies. Now, it doesn't change their utility. What we're hoping is people come over to pTGC and UFO for the meme-like characteristics, and then discover this second benefit in that they actually have utility and pay you passively, right? So we are starting and learning how to market to meme coin chasers, if you will. So we're creating some videos using AI, just short videos, 30 seconds or so, videos about pTGC and UFO. And I think we'll be even making some still photo memes, if I can put it that way, and liven up the chat, the Grace currency Telegram chat. If you guys remember, several months ago, there were memes in the chat constantly, and it really helped from my perspective. It really helped liven up the chat, and I would like to see that happen again, because it shows life even for me, somebody that's been in the ecosystem for many months. I like to see the chat active, even if it's just pictures of aliens. So if you guys can contribute, it's so easy to create. You can create meme-like. You can create aliens in Grok, ChatGPT, any kind of AI, and then if you make a cool looking one, drop it in the Telegram, post it up on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll chime into there a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think we're at a very interesting spot here on Pulse Chain. I think in the last 2 days ago, I think we had one of the lowest days in volume in all of Pulse Chain's history. I saw someone tweet that. I didn't verify that, but it definitely, you can feel the energy is really low. But we do not think the energy is going to be low forever. We do think there is going to be an alt season coming here in the future. And we can use this slow period to kind of try a few different ways to help advertise or educate on what the pTGC and UFO systems are. We're going to try doing a few, little videos, some of them more memey, some of them more informational, to give a more visual educational platform for users who don't like to read long tweets and stuff like that. See if that helps grow the pTGC and UFO ecosystem. Also going to try to tap into some infographics and fun meme pictures as well. We do believe that pTGC can tap into both industries, the utility industry and the meme industry. It was designed to tap into both industries. There's no reason not to tap into both industries. Me and Banana are very, very numbers oriented. We love talking about numbers. We're not really meme people. So we feel we've been lacking a little bit on that side as far as being a promoter of the fun mascot, and we're more promoters of the APY and the burn and the stats. So in this next month, we are going to try to lean a little bit onto the mascot a little bit more and see if that grabs some traction for us, right? And see if that helps, because when the alt season starts to happen and more people start coming over the bridge, we want to have ourselves ready for what they're looking for, right? Some of them are going to be looking for utility plays, and me and Banana, and I think our community, kind of an older group of guys who are more into DeFi, have those things covered like 10 times over. Yeah. There is going to be some money coming over that are more meme type of people, and we want to also make sure that we have a few pieces of, I guess the word would be advertisement for those type of people too. And we have to keep in mind, in the last few years, the meme people are some of the only people that have made decent gains this cycle, right? So if anyone's sitting on profits and they're willing to put it in a few more plays this cycle, it most likely is going to be a few meme guys. A lot of the utility plays haven't really hit. I would say pTGC and UFO as utility plays are one of the main ones that hit this cycle, and I bet even compared to other blockchains, has probably been one of the best utility plays just in general, any blockchain. But mostly on the other chains, I think the big winners have been some of the memes. So that means meme people have some extra money to spend, right? They're actually up on their bag. They have some house money. So when they flow into Pulsechain, when some green candles come over here, they most likely will be looking at memes, because that's what they've had success in the past. We are going to always be trying to hit both categories hard, though. Once they see a meme, even if they look into pTGC real quick, they're going to realize there's way more under the hood than a standard meme, but it has the mascot and the meme ability. So, again, I know some people aren't super into the meme, but you don't have to be into meme tokens to be into pTGC, because pTGC is also utility-based. It also has an awesome mascot. There is two different large sectors in the crypto industry, and we just want to make sure that we're tapping into both industries with the system that we have. It was designed to be able to tap into both industries. Me and Banana obviously lean towards the utility side, but we're doing our best to be a little bit more well-versed and tap into both industries.
Yes, agreed. Yeah. You and I are very numbers oriented, and a lot of the people that are in this ecosystem are numbers oriented, and that's great. We could use some more meme. How do you put it? People with a meme mindset to perhaps exemplify the meme aspect of these tokens. So I am asking community members to, participate in whatever level that you can, in spreading the word about pTGC and UFO. I wonder, Zen, if there is any evidence that when people come over to a new chain I wanted to say it this way. Is there any evidence that people start with memes in a crypto cycle and then move on to utility? Do they try to make some money? Is there any evidence that people like to make some gains and then flip them into utility tokens like HEX, pTGC, those kind of tokens? Do you know of any? Have you heard
I think the better way to explain it would be people will take a high risk win and then flip those profits into more of a low risk asset, right? And this is how the real world operates too. If someone has a high risk business opportunity that comes up they might partially pool some of their low risk money to go do that high risk business opportunity or high risk flip, whatever it is. And if they make out good on that high risk flip, they usually then bring that value that they gained back to their low risk asset to then just keep generating it what it's been generating. So I don't think it's really any different than the real world. I think this cycle, the meme tokens have been like the attraction piece to other blockchains. But more importantly, I think it's just green candles, right? It's just meme tokens are the thing that's had the green candles this cycle. It's partially due to low liquidity. It's partially due to the fact that they actually start at very low levels, kind of like pTGC and UFO did. Like they start at technically zero and then work their way up to where a lot of the utility-based protocols have VCs or sacrifices or pre-sales. So they already start at like $100 million market caps because there's a lot more involved, which then makes it to where it doesn't create like a super green chart because it was already evaluated at a decent dollar price, to where a meme token starts at pretty much ground zero and makes its way from zero to wherever it gets to, which is a great way to bring people onto a chain, right? Showing people winning. And I think that's one of the things that we need here on Pulse Chain is we need not only the blockchain, but these tokens that are on the blockchain to start getting in the green again, because that's what's going to attract the outside public, right? Maybe not necessarily the meme. I think memes do it too, but just some green candles, right? Showing that people are winning by being over here.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks I think you stated it perfectly. So to summarize what you were saying initially is that pTGC and UFO have the ability to attract people that are speculating and looking for gains, perhaps at the initial part of a cycle. And then when they've made some gains and they're looking for a safe haven to place those gains, they already hold the token where they can keep them, which prevents cheating. So it's a win-win all through the cycle.
That goes to they come for the X's, but they'll stay for the APY. This is how even in the real world works, right? If you make a decent chunk of money, let's say you start a business and the business comes successful, you're done reinvesting in the business. Well, if you're bringing in cash flow, do you just put that cash flow to the side, or do you put that cash flow in a asset that works for you? So now instead of trading your money or your time for money, you can put your money to work to earn money, right? So people are going to do the same thing with crypto gains. They're going to treat it like they just made a bunch of money in the business. Most people are going to find a safe asset that can generate them passive income and divs off of that value, right? You need to put that money to work. The nice thing about pTGC is it's all built into one product, right? pTGC and UFO can offer you the X's and it can offer you the APY all built into one platform, making it to where once you get those X's, you actually don't need to leave the thing that changed your life to go better your life. It's kind of all built under one roof.
Mm-hmm. Another way to say it is people will come for the meme, but stay for the utility. Does anybody have any comments about what we just talked about?
Yeah, I would say, when you look at crypto in general, like for the most part, especially this cycle and even previous cycles, like what attracted me to crypto is Dogecoin. What attracts most people to crypto is meme coins, but then they see this world of possibilities. Simple is better. For the most part, at least to open the door to get people to come in. When I was at the conference last week, it was all about memes. Nobody cared about APY. Nobody cared about that or liquidity providing. Like that was not even the question. It was, does the chain produce X's on meme coins? And that's what got people excited about Pulse Chain, because I've talked about it. Look at Look at XRP, one of the biggest communities ever. Their highest meme coin went to 50 mil. Look at Sui. Everybody's talking about Sui now. Okay, Lofi went to 250 mil. pTGC went to $380 million market cap. Now, for the Pulse community, these guys are smart. They like the APY. They like this type of coin, which is good. But I think it's a good thing to focus on meme first. And there are influencers that have big followings that want to come over here and support. There are devs that have launched billion-dollar projects that want to come over here and launch. And I had showed them pTGC. And just explaining it off of a conversation, you know, they were like, wow, that's legit. That is cool. And they, you know, obviously I sent them all this information and they're looking over it. A lot of those guys are still out there, but stuff like pTGC excites them because it's that old school DeFi. And obviously pTGC is even more unique than anything. But community needs to wake up. Hit the like button, hit the retweet, start memeing. Memes are powerful. Money follows attention. And right now, the engagement is trash. Half the community, oh, PDI, blah, 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 they left, whatever. They're getting wrecked. They're going down with the ship. Even all these guys, we see a big split and we've seen engagement massively drop. It'll all come back. Green candles, you know, meme coins pumping, pTGC pumping will come back, but who's grinding for their bags? That's the question, because a lot of you guys have this mindset of, oh, I'm going to sit back and let Richard Hart pump my bags, or the OA, or Ian and B Roots. And that's the dumbest mindset. That's a Democrat mentality. And most likely, not just in crypto, that mentality is going to get you wrecked. You need to lock in. You need to work for your bag. And if you don't, that's fine, because most likely you're going to not be locked in. You're going to get subpar gains. You're not going to have the conviction behind the plays because you're doing no sweat equity in it. And you're going to cheat early, or you're going to round trip it because you're not locked in. And you're going to miss so many different plays. And nobody wants a community member like you, honestly. But you'll chase green candles. You'll pump the bags. You'll be extra liquidity. But we need to come together as a community. Hit the like button. How hard is it to see someone shilling pTGC? I don't care if it's the biggest account or the littlest account. Hit the like. Hit the retweet. Drop a comment. Start memeing Pulse Chain. That's what's going to bring volume. That's what's going to bring people. That's what's going to bring eyes on Pulse Chain. Not Hex is better than Bitcoin and Ink is the best meme coin in the world. Nobody cares about that. Absolutely nobody cares about that. You know, we're the laughing stock when I talk to the Mario crew and people that are on that crew, when these guys paid to get on that show and said Ink is the best meme coin in the world. These guys looked at that and laughed, and they look at our community as a joke. But I got to get in, not being a maxi, not being this, oh, Hex is blah, 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 whatever. I still have a bag of Hex. I think it's going to go up, but I'm not, that's not what people want to hear. People want to hear they're backed by a billionaire who just beat the SEC in court. Where meme coins, Moon, go to 380 mil. PDI, which is a meme coin, went to almost $900 million market cap. Teddy went to $120 million market cap. This is what makes people bullish. This is what turns their heads. And I'm like, guess what? Richard Hart is the king of outrage marketing. He is the king of viral marketing. And these young Solana boys, they don't even know who this guy is. They don't even know about Hex. They have no idea. They're making tens of millions of dollars, rocking 150K Rolexes with all Louis and Gucci Vuitton and all this nice clothes and driving new cars because of meme coins. And they don't care about APY. They don't care about that. They care about a meme with a blockchain where meme coins pump. And Richard Hart, when he comes back, whether he likes it or not, he is the ultimate meme coin king with his marketing style. And these Solana guys, DGens, are going to look at him like, this guy is our new king, in my opinion, because he's going to come back twerking. Hopefully, I hope he comes back the way he left, because in my opinion, it is going to absolutely turn the heads and everybody's going to come rushing over And obviously, guys, if you're in PTGC early, you're a community member, you're going to smash it because the chain's going to pump, the top meme coins are going to pump, and PTGC has established itself as the top, if not one of the top meme coins with utility on Pulse Chain. And you should be proud of that, but you should also get loud and work for your bags. Lock in. It's easy. If you're scrolling on Twitter, why not? Why not like? Why not retweet? Why not comment? Like, you have this mindset, someone else is going to do it for you. Well, they're not. No one's going to save you. And if you have no sweat equity, you probably already cheated, and you're probably going to cheat way too early. So that's my thoughts, and that's what I've seen and the reaction. And I promise you, some of the top devs, look at the meme coins on Solana. They are interested in PTGC. They've never seen a protocol like that. It doesn't exist. And they are looking to come over here. And they are looking to make it a meme coin haven. And there's going to be a run. And if you mix that with green candles on Pulse Chain, what did Solana do? 50x, 30x from the absolute bottom? People smashed it. Imagine if Pulse Chain does a 500x. From here, while meme coins are pumping, that would absolutely pump all your bags and turn everyone's heads.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Thanks for even like bringing up the conversations and the reality of what you saw in real life at a large crypto convention. I think that's a big wake-up call for everyone because a lot of people get stuck in the echo chamber of Pulse Chain, and sometimes you have to break out of that echo chamber, talk to a couple other people, and kind of see where they're at, and then compare what we have here to what they're talking about. And I think you're right. Like, when you show it to them, they're impressed, right? The mascot, like I still believe the gray alien or just an alien in general space is like the best crypto mascot ever. So we have the best mascot to meme with. We have the utility under the hood to give us a step ahead of every other meme coin that exists. It's like a cheat code almost. And if you don't even like memeing, you can almost just think of them like advertisements, right? When you drive down the freeway and you see a billboard for a 100% legit company, but the billboard's still funny, right? The billboard's getting your attention with a joke. And it's a legit company. It's not a meme company, right? These are legit companies, but you can still have fun with legit things. And I think that's important.
Yeah, I mean, taking this space too serious is not how you win. Honestly, like, I mean, look at the environment we live in. We have Trump as president, the guy who makes crazy jokes. We have Elon Musk in the government, who all he does is meme all day. And whether you like it or you don't, you have to adjust with the market. You think Richard Hart, after preaching he hates meme coins, wanted to launch a fork of Pumped Up Fun? Probably not. But guess what? He moves with the market, just like you have to. Stop hating on Solana degens, calling it pump and dumps, this and that. Learn what they're doing over there. Learn how they're bringing all the volume. Learn how they're winning so hard. And adapt. Make conversation with them. Go out of the echo chamber. That's honestly the main reason I went out there. I just felt like we're fighting over PETA and Teddy, and it's the same echo chamber. Everyone's getting washed out. Volume's going down. Charts going down. And it's this split community of wars. And honestly, nobody cares outside of Pulse Chain. And I was just like, this is just trash. We got to get out of this. I felt like I was becoming a maxi or something in this echo chamber, which I never was. I'm big in Ethereum. We did Solana, we did Tron, we did Base. But it was so important, and it should be in your mind too. Bridge out of it a little bit. Jump in other spaces. Don't just come in shilling, guns a-blazing. Pulse Chain, this and that. Get to know some people and then say, hey, what they're going to ask you, what are you bullish on? Hey, I'm bullish on this and this is why. And those type of conversations, those type of interactions make people think, because anybody with half a brain sees the opportunity. The devs, I have never seen them so excited. They've been in my DMs ever since. These are some of the top devs that everybody wishes they could talk to or get alpha from. And I happened to run in them, and they love the UFC. And they found out I'm a UFC fighter. We ended up hanging out all night. And did I pitch them right away? No. Mm-hmm. I waited till I got built a relationship. And once it was done, they were like, yo, this is what they said. He said, I always get shilled these shitty trash meme coins. This whole conference, people have come up to me and given me this and that, and it's just trash. He's like, this is alpha, bro. He's like, this is the stuff I came here for. This is what I'm looking for. To see this untouched territory of Pulse Chain where meme coins are pumping harder than all these bigger blockchains that everyone talks about. While the chart is sideways and down, while Richard Hart beats the SEC, while he has $1 billion in an OA wallet, while he's going to come back streaming what we speculate on. And he said, that is alpha. And they're excited. And you guys should be too. And you guys should be engaging. And you guys should be trying to grow. Because when everyone grows in here, you want them to come over. They're just going to take over. But if you have a name, you're a community member, you're shilling hard, you know, you're probably going to get in some good stuff. So it's going to happen with or without everyone. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, a big piece of that, right, is the fact that we've been able to have this much success without those SAC funds and without Richard streaming. And I was literally just watching a clip of like Ivan on Tech the other day, and he was saying that if Richard starts streaming, he's coming to Pulse Chain, right? So that's what a lot of these people are waiting for because they know Richard can sell his own products very, very well. He just hasn't been selling them for the last 2 years. But if you think of like Ivan saying on that, you have to say, okay, Ivan's not a maxi, right? He's on every other chain and tons of different products. That's what they're waiting for. And when Richard starts streaming, obviously we believe the price will start moving up. The successful products on the chain will start moving up just from that, Hart's Law. But then also we can take the idea of more money's coming in, which then a majority of that money is going to speculate on the successful alt tokens / meme tokens, right? Which should give the real X's, the real green candles, which then equals more people coming in. Because if they see a blockchain moving up, all the influencers from other blockchains moving over to that blockchain, the alt tokens moving up and winning, it could possibly create a very, very good scenario for us here. And we want to be able to use that scenario to our advantage and have videos and memes and mascots and stuff ready for when that time comes, because the community that has the most attention when everything starts flowing in is going to massively outperform everything else on the chain, right? The one that has the most billboards set up when people are scrolling through X and they're like, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Oh, these all have great aliens in them. Like, I need to see what this is.
Exactly, man. We just, even if you don't like it, man, like we said, be smart, be strategic. Hey, how can I get the attention fast? How can I market outside of the echo chamber? Instead of the only marketing that people see is when we just attack people, which is fine because some people see that as bullish. I say we are the most passionate, toxic community in crypto. Now, not all of us are toxic, but that's what we look like. And a lot of people see that as bullish. Some people don't want to mess with it, but the smart people see that, hey, this is a community that will stick with Richard Hart. They are passionate. They will wreck anyone who tries to come after them. And to them, that's bullish because it actually is. That's what you kind of need in crypto. And you have a committed, passionate community ready to go to war for this chain. And when the green candles come, we're going to get loud. And I even was with Ansem, and I asked Ansem, I said, bro, what do you think about the Pulse Chain community? He goes, man, they're freaking wild. So we're getting people's attention, but now let's start funneling it in a way we can all monetize. Memes are pumping. Like, whoever got in pTGC smashed it. Whoever got in PDI smashed it. Whoever got in Teddy Bear smashed it. Whoever got in Most smashed it. Like, there's a lot more memes, and we absolutely smashed it. And we smashed it harder than almost any other blockchain besides Solana. We arguably are even close to smashing as hard as ETH. And ETH is, I mean, the meme coin chain, but it's done terrible this whole cycle. But show me another blockchain where they're making as many gains as us. Yeah, of course, BNB smashed it, but they're freaking OG's top 5 crypto company. But did they smash it hard on Sui this hard? I doubt it. Did they smash it as hard on Pawn? No. What about Tron? Okay, maybe you could have an argument with Tron, but they're OGs multiple cycles. But what other blockchain are they smashing it? And look at our chart. Our chart is trash. But other people who are smart, like these devs I've talked to, exchanges, they see opportunity. So it gets me excited, man. And I'm going to be pumped. I'm going to bring the energy. And you guys can just sit back and wait and not move like I'm moving, or not adjust your marketing style or your mindset, then I promise you're probably going to get left behind.
Yeah, and one thing that Banana's working on is he's trying to create a few memes and some fun videos and stuff like that. So at least we have some stuff to give our community to work with, right? Like, it's kind of like if we give our community some of the tools they need, some memes, some fun videos, maybe they'll go out there and start to use those tools. Right now, we don't have a lot of memes and videos, so a lot of times community members create them themselves, but we haven't seen a mass creation of these videos or these different marketing of pictures or videos or anything like that. So what we're trying to do is like, okay, well, let's step up a little bit of like some of the top community members like Banana or me, and let's create the images for them or the videos for them, or try to. Again, me and Banana are super old school, so they maybe aren't as like good as maybe some real good meme guys, but we're trying to give them the community a couple tools so they can work with on social media. That's kind of the hard part with, I think, a lot of our community being an older bunch that are more utility-based people, is like, we're not really good at creating them and stuff like that, but me and Banana are like trying to work together to create some of these tools so our community can get to work. And then hopefully with people seeing us create this stuff, a couple other people step up too, and some fun stuff starts coming out.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe hire some artists, make some real funny stuff, and push it out. There's got to be some new influencers coming, and I'm sure you guys are the dominant project. You guys have the marketing funds. Like, I already know. We've already talked in the background. Like, you guys better get ready, because PTGC is not messing around. These guys are ready to evolve. These guys are ready to do what it takes to freaking pump. Honestly, you could say, and I don't like this marketing at all, they wouldn't need to do anything, and if Pulse Chain pumps, they're going to go parabolic. But that's not the right mindset to have, and they know that. And they are already speculating on who is going to come, who's going to bring volume, who are these guys, what are some shows, like all these different things. And these guys are making moves. So now when you bring volume, you bring mass marketing, you bring meme coins, you bring all these memes out that are getting people engaged, and you have Pulse Chain pumping, that's where they're going to freaking hit it out the park. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be where you change your life, and you make that generational wealth. And that's why I like your guys' mindset. For people to know, in the background, these guys are evolving, and these guys are ready to do what it takes. And that's what I like. So don't just rely on, the Pulse Chain goes up, my bags will pump. Well, that is true, but unless people are selling and chasing other stuff. So don't rely on that. You guys need to be thinking, hey, let's work for the bag. Let's lock in. Yeah. A lot of you guys aren't locked in, man. And we got 6 to 8 months left. Are you going to capitalize? You worked how hard for 3 years, 2 years, whatever it is. Are you going to slow down now? Because I'm not. I'm going to step it up. PTGC team's not. They're stepping it up. They're evolving. They're doing what it takes. And I believe the people that are doing that, we're going to win the hardest by far.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up real quick. You're talking about when Pulse Chain succeeds, like PTGC is going to succeed, but we shouldn't just bank on that. Because if Pulse Chain goes up, but people are selling out of PTGC, that becomes an X divider. That will start to give you less X's than what you would get just with Pulse Chain. But if people are buying, that's an X multiplier. So that means within PTGC, you're getting an X multiplier on top of the X's that you're getting on the blockchain. So obviously, it's more important for us to put the pedal to the metal and make sure when Pulse Chain starts going up that we don't stay stagnant or we don't go down against the blockchain. We want to be going up against the blockchain. With the blockchain moving up, we want buys coming into PTGC for either utility or for the meme. It doesn't matter. A buy's a buy. And that's going to help us do X multipliers over the blockchain, making 100X, a 500X from these levels very, very easy. And that's one of the benefits, like you're saying, Ian, of being built on a blockchain that's so undervalued. We're on a blockchain that's down 70% from the SAC rate, and the blockchains that we're up against are up 50, 100X. If we just come to where they're at now, that's a 50X multiplier to whatever we can do from this point against Pulse Chain. Again, buys on our chart. That's very important for our system. We don't want to sell against the pump of Pulse Chain. We want to pump against the pump of Pulse Chain. That's what we've done in the past 2 times, and that's why when Pulse Chain's done a 3 or 5X, we've ran 45Xs.
Yeah, and I think some people think it's all good. Just sit back, let Pulse Chain go, let PTGC go up. But no, it's going to take grinding. It's going to take getting those buys, getting those marketing. Because trust me, people chase green candles. And if something big comes out, steals the attention and blah, 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 not saying everyone, but people will sell out and look for something else. And that's why the PTGC team, they are ready to push hard. They have funds. They have marketing. They have revenue. And they are ready to do what it takes. So that's why I'm bullish, and you guys are evolving, and you're not, I'm even in that older crowd where it's like, I still love memes and stuff like that. But, in the beginning, I hated on the Solana degens, like, pumping down low liquidity, this and that. Yeah, they're smashing it. It goes to billions of dollar market cap, and these guys are absolutely smashing it. And you can sit there and hate, but that's not going to help your portfolio. Or you can evolve, brush shoulders with these guys, learn what they're doing, see how locked in they are. Because I promise you, those kids that are making millions of dollars, they're a lot more locked in than these guys. And guess what? They're not over here arguing about stupid stuff with someone they've never met online, with a cartoon character. They're out there hunting alpha, shilling their bags like you've never seen. And they're capturing the attention of big people, and they're making money. So evolve, change your mindset. I love the PTGC community, but it's just time to step it up, get a little bit louder. The team's stepping up, and I hope the community follows.
Ian, perhaps you can expand on what the other meme communities are doing to attract attention to their assets.
Well, there's a combination of stuff that they do. They're first off at all these single conventions, meeting all these people. They have massive Telegram groups, and everybody's in there hunting X's, and they raid like no other. They're locked in on their computers. They meme. They pay professional artists who make some of the best memes in this space to consistently just crank memes out over and over and over. And they all push, they all support each other. They pay for marketing. They pay for influencers. And it's just this massive effect of how loud they get. And honestly, too, they brag about their gains, which I know someone touched on. They literally bragged. And I know we're kind of like a quieter, that's not even my style. I don't like to show my wallet and this and that, but it's maybe okay to brag a little bit about the gains that we've made on PTGC. Hey, I got in at this amount. I'm up this much X's, blah, blah, blah. I turned $1,000 into $200K, stuff like that. That's not a bad idea either, because that grabs people's attention. And that That will attract people. They'll be like, whoa, they're smashing it over there, because no one thinks they're smashing it. No one has an idea. And these young kids don't even know who Richard Hart is. They're going to know, but they have no idea. And the people that do know, for the most part, they have a bad stigma. If I say pulse chain, they get excited. If I say hex, they're like, ugh. Like, they literally are like, oh, you're a hexagon? And I'm like, no, 100% not. Pulse chain. Pulse chain is the marketing. That's why Rackham and all these guys. Hex is an old site. Hex is an old coin. It's still gonna pump. I still got a bag. I'm bullish on it, but it's not the marketing. That was last time. DeFi summer. It smashed it. It was perfect timing. Get bullish on Pulse Chain. Get bullish on meme coins. pTGC is a meme coin with pumponomic utility.
Yeah.
Is the best way to put it.
Pumponomic. That's the first time I've ever heard pumponomic. Ian.
Bro.
You just coined that one, buddy. Pumponomics, bro.
Pumponomics. It's a utility that makes the chart go up. And that's the best utility you can have. Because guess what? No one cares really about any other utility. It brings revenue, and there's buy pressure and liquidity added. But like, if you go in trying to shill, it's got these R-bots and a 5.5 tax, and just show the meme. Let them figure it out. They'll be excited. It's like an endless, like, treasure chest, and you give them the chest, they're excited. Oh, yeah, I want that. But now they open it. Oh, it does that. It does that. I can stake. I'm earning APY. I don't even have to stake, and I'm still getting a bigger bag. That's the type of stuff. But the meme coin is the foot in the door, and that's just what people have to understand. It's just the facts.
Yeah, I think Ian, one of the disconnects is that, you know, there's just a lot of people. It's almost like if you grew up a Protestant, right? And then all of a sudden you become really good friends with an Orthodox, and you get convinced that maybe the Orthodox way is better, but you have no idea where to begin, right? Because you're just not equipped. You're not a 19-year-old who grew up on the internet, and your actual language is a meme, right? These kids, that's their actual language, right? We're talking about people here that are 35, 45, 55 on Pulse Chain, you know, in a coin that has utility, because it's just, the thing is, man, is pTGC is a very serious financial product. So it's difficult for people to get out of the, you know, Protestant seriousness mode. And then, okay, how in the hell do you even, I guess it's like, okay, as a Christian, you have the Bible, right? Well, and it's the roadmap, right? Well, what is the roadmap you hand somebody who has no clue about the meme culture if they want to participate in it? There isn't like some quick, fast roadmap manual, right?
No.
And so it's almost like, okay, well, if the users of pTGC or any crypto, they're not really interested in that. Maybe just because they don't sit there like a 19-year-old where they can just sit on their damn computer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or they're not an Ian and a B Roots who do this full time and make a shit ton of money doing this stuff full time. They actually just have families and businesses, right? Which in a lot of ways, the large majority of our holders are that, right? So the question just becomes, okay, maybe the community doesn't have to become the memer community, but maybe the community can support efforts in having a group of people or having a professional team of marketers or hiring influencers. And so there has to be some kind of a solution. Whatever that solution is, there needs to be found a solution, because you don't have a business without marketing. And when you market, you always market to your target market, right? If I have beautiful, amazing cigars, I'm not going to try to go to some group of people who never smoke cigars. It doesn't make any sense. So I think dialing in a marketing strategy that incorporates the reality of the meme culture of this crypto cycle, understanding that maybe there are large groups of people in our community, they just don't have any clue even how to start with that or the energy to even do it. So if you're that, how do you at least undergird the efforts?
You want me to tell you?
And if you're the protocol, right? If you're the protocol, what are the things that you can do to put in place to springboard those marketing efforts? Whether it's KOLs or, whatever it is.
I mean, like you said, some people are like, well, I'm not a meme guy, this and that. That's fine. Look at this space. We got 40 people in here and 7 people in here have retweeted. Like that's the stuff I'm talking about. Like the simple, hey, at least half the people in here retweet, whatever. There's other half, maybe haters or people that are just learning. That's fine. But that's the stuff I'm talking about. Whatever. The Pulse Chain community, half of them have bought every single meme coin me and Beer Roots have shilled, and they just don't talk about it. That's their style. I'm going to do it, but I'm scared of who's going to see. Who cares who sees? A bunch of cartoon pictures. Be yourself on this platform, and I promise you'll grow faster. Stop caring what the Maxis are going to think, or Richard Hart. Who cares? He's a freaking founder of a blockchain.
Well, I don't. I mean, do you really think, Ian, that's the case?
They care.
Now?
They care.
But why?
They care
all
a lot.
of the maxis have all launched their own freaking coins. They've all rugged everybody. They've all shown they're not maxis themselves. Richard Hart's shown he's not a damn maxi anymore on Hex. He launched a blockchain. He launched a freaking pump.tires. Why would anybody give a shit about that?
Dude, they care. I don't know why. It's just their friends, their crew.
Are you deluded?
I promise you they care.
Are launching their own coins, man. It's crazy.
I know. And then they all hate on them. And I'm telling you what, bro, you're not going to see me engaging in drama anymore. Like, I don't care. I do not care.
Yeah, I would just say.
Sorry, I just got to. Hold on, let me just finish. All the people that hate on me and all the crap.
You cutting out, Ian.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me put. Someone's blowing me up. I promise you, when I see these people in real life, they will not say a word to me. And if they it's, hey, how you doing, man? I promise you, when you meet up with these people in real life, everybody's chill. How big of a percentage of the world is in crypto? Very small. Yeah, we fight on, even influencers that I fought with. We're cool when we see each other. It's just Twitter drama. So it's just, you're wasting your time. You guys engage more with hate posts and rivalries and drama. Go watch Jerry Springer. You're here to make money. So engage with stuff that can make you money. Not with stuff that's, oh, he really wrecked him. Yeah, once 100%. In a while, there's a reckoning that has to happen, and it's funny. But this whole chain is, Sami, P-Dye, like they just attack the page. Like, I'm probably not even going to block anyone anymore. I'm just going to ignore you because you engage with my posts, and it bumps me up in the algorithm. And that's the only thing. At this point now, and this is what the young kids care about, all they care about are views, and all they care about is gains. And that's what you should care about too at this point. If you're in crypto in general, not saying in life, but here on X, here in this small echo chamber in this world, get views and get gains, because views bring the gains. And at the end of the day, we're all trying to change our life financially. That's why we're here. That's why I sit on my computer all day and look at my phone and make content. That's why we're here, to make money. And people like Sami who tell you, I'm not here to get view or to get money off of this. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're a liar. Don't believe people that say that. I am here to get gains, and I will sell. And you should too. And at the end of the day, I love this community, and I think it has one of the strongest meme coin with utilities, narrative, and dev team. The dev team is absolutely phenomenal. Name another dev team on here that is stuck with the project, that is marketed, that has pumped the chart, that has evolved, that has not scammed anyone. PTGC dev team. I'm investing in the dev team. I'm investing in the community because I like the community. I'm just asking the community to step up now and think like the younger kids think, because all they do is get views. I got this young kid, Joey Moose. He streams. He's making so much money just from streaming because these kids love him, and he jokes around half the time. It's not even alpha, really. No shade on him. He's a hilarious kid. He gets views. He's funny. Have fun with this, because it's like when you're at the bar or when you're at the dating scene. If you're the serious guy, hey, when are we going to get married? What's your marital? What do you want to do? Or the guy who's funny and makes people laugh. That's who people come and they are attracted to. So have that mindset. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to say, the beginning part of that I think is really important. Stop worrying about what other people say, and if they, talk hate or they say that's a scam or whatever, just have conviction in your research, have conviction in your plays in the community around you and why you even bought a token, invested in a token, speculated, staked, whatever you're doing with any of these tokens or products, and stick with it. I still make posts about pTGC, and there's always like the same guy every post that says, oh, this is a scam, and I just show him the long-term chart and leave it at that. I don't block him even though he says it every time, because like you said, it's engagement. It allows me to post a chart of this asset that has outperformed almost everything on Pulse Chain. So he looks like an idiot, and I have conviction in the due diligence on this project. So this is on any project that you're in, you should have the conviction that when haters come to your posts, you're able to defend it or brush it off or just say, oh, good luck with something else. Tune in with me in a year when I'm a winner and you're a loser. And that's really it. Move on. And like you said, it only takes a second to like something, retweet something, comment on something, even put an emoji on something. Sometimes I'm busy, but I see, Zen or pTGC's account post something. I'll just try to get an emoji on it, something, so that then my community, the algorithm alerts them that, hey, Nick commented on this. Oh, it's a pTGC post, and they're doing the shilling for me. I was just able to put an emoji on that. It's all it takes. You all got to work together. And, a lot of people are like, well, Nick, I only have 10 followers or 100 followers. Do I really matter? That's how everything starts. I don't know how many followers Ian has now, but he started with 0. I have 32,000. I started with 0. pTGC has thousands. They started with 0. Like, it all starts with one individual, and every one of you, even if you have 10 followers, 1 family member, 3 friends, everything counts in this ecosystem because it is so small and you are so early. So just do that little bit of extra. Give the comments, give the retweets, give the quote tweets. If you have a different interpretation of something that I post, leave a comment. Just because you have 100 followers doesn't mean you're not smarter than me or making a better decision than me. So, I love what you're saying. Just be active. Pump your own bags. This is something that has kind of been lost. In 2017, this was a big narrative. 2016, 2015, 2017. That's because there were so few altcoins. So it really was kind of an echo chamber, and you had that power to really pump your own bags. And that's something that needs to come back this cycle is work for your bags. Pump your own bags. Stop relying on other people, and especially on Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain is still a very small ecosystem. You have a lot of weight with your words. You have a lot of weight with your posts, and you have a lot of weight with your buys. So take advantage of it. Become somebody in this space. And if you truly believe and have conviction in Pulse Chain, when it runs, you're going to be able to say, I told you so. So just keep working with it.
Nick, I was just going to say, piggybacking off of your post earlier, Ian, that I was going back and forth with you on, you just made the comment, Nick, conviction. And Ian was saying the same thing this morning, and I was going back and forth with him. I think it's important that people can really realize that, do you really believe, do you really have conviction in what's been built with the Grace currency? Because if you don't really have conviction, then you're not going to share it. You're not going to retweet it. You're not going to talk about it. You're going to be timid. You're not going to act as an authority. You're not going to want to talk to people about it, right? So it really does come down to, if you don't have conviction, why are you even in the damn thing? Number one, right? If you do have conviction, you should be able to engage the community. You should be able to engage individuals. Oh, it's a scam. Anytime, Nick, that I have that hit my thread, I just say, go ahead, share with me your number one reason why it's a scam. Why is it a scam? So I won't just let them say something like that. I'll let the algorithm go, but I'll create a narrative. Hey, thanks for saying it's a scam. You mind telling me how it's a scam? Because now you're forcing them to open up within their own stupid ass comment to actually prove something that's unprovable. And it just makes them look stupid. At the same time, you get more algorithm stuff going on, right? But Ian, the conviction of being on Pulse Chain, 19 months of flawless operation with pTGC, going through everything that this protocol has gone through, weathering every storm that this protocol has weathered, from inside Jeets to outside Jeets to freaking PvP up your ass times 10 on steroids to all these different things. And the system's still here at a $70 million market cap. And it's doing the exact same thing it's been doing the whole time. If you don't have conviction in a protocol like the Gray's currency, what in crypto can you have conviction in? I guess that's really like a really strong question to ask yourself. If you truly don't feel conviction in what's been built in these smart contracts, what would it take? What would you need to see to actually have conviction enough to get loud and to share it and to say, you know what, I'm going to call 5 new people this week and I'm going to introduce them to pTGC, see if they want to get involved in crypto. It's not just, X is a freaking echo chamber. And it's like what Ian said, unless you're going outside of your little echo chamber, you're not reaching any new people. Right? So the conviction is really strong.
Yeah, and this will motivate anyone more than anything. Because at the end of the day, they're going to say, oh, whatever. It's going to go up. We're not going to do anything. But let me tell you something. And this is what makes you grow. There are guys on Solana with 15, 20,000 followers that get invited in these group chats where they get deals or they get alpha. And they only have 15, 20 followers. But as the young kids say, they have motion. They have volume. They have people looking at them. And what do they do to grow? They are reply guys. They reply not just in Pulse Chain, not just in Hex, but on all the big accounts. Put the biggest accounts on your notifications and have some good replies. You can go viral. You can get people's attention. Look at Hexologist. He does it all the time. And we need people like him. He's more core coins, this and that, a few meme coins here and there. That's his brand. That's fine. Make your brand whatever you want it to be. But I'm telling you right now, people in this app, you can grow your following. And when they come, when these devs come, when these big influencers come, and you have motion, you are a reply guy, you're getting views, your numbers are going up, they are probably going to invite you in. Hey, here's some money for a tweet, or hey, here's some supply push. And if that's something you want to do, that is available to anybody in this space. So if you want to grow, you want to get alpha, and you want to be one of the guys, you don't need 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers. You just need motion. And how that happens is being a reply guy. And that's how people grow fast. And that's where they go to Elon Musk. They go to Mario, all these different pages, and they're doing good replies. People are looking at them. They're getting eyes. Their followers are going up. Their engagement's flying. They're in the algorithm. Probably one of the biggest mistakes that I made was blocking so many people. This last toxic run up, I was so stuck in the echo chamber. I was like, I just don't want to hear it anymore. If you come vulgar and say some crazy, stupid stuff, yeah, I'll block you. But if you're just saying the normal, hey, you're a scammer, you left PI, I'm not blocking you. I'm probably not even responding. Just keep bringing me engagement. And when the green candles come on, and when I go on a heater, and when I got the alpha, guess what? They're going to buy in too. And then they're going to switch. You're going to be the greatest person ever. And when the coin goes down, when it corrects, I'm going to be the scammer again. But that's okay, because this is the game. I'm understanding the game more than I ever have. And you guys who have these small accounts, you can grow. But you're not going to grow just by, tweeting a few things, you and a couple of 5 buddies. No, you're going to grow by being a reply guy, growing your thing, and you might be able to get some good alpha, and you might be one of the guys that get hired or whatever it may be, if that's what you want to do. And you keep your brand unique and special to you, however you feel comfortable. But if you want to grow, if you want your coins to grow, that's how it's done.
And by being a reply guy, you're talking about replying to your Twitter notifications?
No, you reply to every tweet that is about the coins you're in. You reply to Mario. You're shilling to him. You're shilling to all the influencers on Solana. You're shilling like crazy. Ansem, all these big influencers. And you're saying stuff. Doesn't have to be crazy. Doesn't have to be vulgar, whatever. But you're saying stuff that are catching people's eyes. You can go reply and say something funny on Watcher Guru, and you'll all of a sudden have 500 likes on your reply, and you're probably going to get 50 new followers. You do that enough times, you're going to grow. And when the algorithm sees that you are saying meaningful replies, and it doesn't always have to be that way, but when you catch people's attention with your replies, you are going to grow. And you're going to be pushed in the algorithm, and you see these guys. Some of these guys only been in, a year, and they're making millions of dollars, and they only got 20,000 followers. Some of these guys, look at Eric Stevens. If you guys know who that is, he just came to the game. He's made over $10 million. He's only been in the game a year and a half because he replies, because he says funny tweets. He replies. He shills coins. He shills with conviction. Even if it's going down, he doesn't care. He doesn't block scammers. Or people who call him a scammer. He doesn't care. He just knows it's part of the game. And he grows, and he's crushing it. So there's people that are going to come up in this Pulse Chain ecosystem, and there are probably even people going to get bigger than me. Doing 50 tweets a day, about just trash, that's probably not it. Make meaningful tweets, meaningful replies, and reply to the coins you're in, and you can grow. And you can be one of those breakthrough accounts that comes up and freaking smashes it and ends this year with a smile on your face and zeros in your bank account. And you're going to say, you know what? I locked in for 6 to 8 months, and now I can buy a house. I can pay for my kids' college. I can buy my wife a new car. All these things. It's possible. It's very possible. This is the only space, and this could be the last run of meme coins. So if you want to lock in, if you want to grow, take the blueprint of these guys who have blown up. Some of these guys, like I said, they only got 15, 20,000 followers, but they have motion, and they bring people, and they get numbers, and then the people like that, and people pay them, and people give them alpha, and they find coins, and you just what starts with motion continues. Is just anything. People go on heaters and they lock in. So that should give you some motivation if that wants to be you. If not, you want to be an investor, that's fine, but work for your bags, man. And that's it.
Yeah. Ian, how do you find posts that we should reply to about the Grays?
Everyone who's big in this space.
You mean just following the big people in the space and search Twitter for posts that they make about the Grays?
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
No, Banana. They're not going to be making posts about the Grays. So, the easiest example would be if Elon Musk posts something about his rocket ship, and if you have something funny or entertaining to write in his comments,
okay,
and if your comment is actually funny and entertaining, people will start to like that, which will then put your comment at the top of the comments, and you'll gain a ton of followers like that. You'll also get a ton of engagement to your account like that. You probably can get some buys to pTGC and UFO if it was pTGC and UFO related. A lot of the people, even let's say for you, let's say you want to promote pTGC or UFO, but they won't even promote pTGC and UFO in this reply game. They'll reply just with entertaining and funny stuff to get their account flowing, right? To get people viewing their account, to get followers. Because then 3 hours later, you just got 200 new followers. Then you do the pTGC and UFO post. And then they're like, oh, I just followed this guy. The algorithm's now kicking me out all his posts. Now this guy's posting about pTGC and UFO. I'll see what this is, right? So it's replying to big accounts related to crypto. Sometimes you reply to just big accounts just in general. And you can pick up a lot of followers and a lot of engagement that way and really push your account to the front of the algorithm.
Hot dog.
And in everything you said, Zen, is absolutely correct. But for you guys like you, Prairie, you can make some funny spaceship Elon Musk flying with the like pTGC in there. Like use you can use Grok, you can use chat, you can use an artist. You should probably, I would recommend, and I can connect you guys with some artists, and make a file. Like make a file on your phone of funny pTGC memes. And when Elon posts something about aliens, or any page, any big news page posts something funny about aliens, you can drop that meme right there. You want to be one of the first replies within the first 5 minutes. And it can go viral, and it can get eyes looking, and it can get massive attention. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Not only from your guys' end, which you guys know, but also for the littler guys who want to grow. You can still shill stuff. Obviously, if you just say, hey, buy pTGC and drop a contract, people do that. You need those people too, because you see a lot of people doing that. You're like, whoa, is this alpha? Look at all these people talking about this coin. That gets me excited too. Or you have the main page post something, and then everybody goes and likes it. If I look at my page and I'm like, dang, this got freaking 80 likes or 50 likes, and I'm going to check it out. I am going to check out what that meme is. So that's how you get eyes. And then like Zen said, for the little guys, maybe it's not related to that. And you just put some funny stuff, funny memes. And you have a whole folder on your phone. Maybe you have a folder for pTGC. Maybe you have a folder for UFO, or you combine them. Or maybe you just have a folder of just funny memes. And you just go. And you wait for those big accounts to tweet, and anything related, you come in with those memes. And it will pump your numbers.
Cool. Thank you for that, Ian. That's the good stuff, man. I'm gonna put it to practice.
Yeah, man, you're gonna grow quick.
Let me see that first sick freaking meme, dog. Get that out there, man. So we can push it.
Let's go.
I'm working on some right now in Grok.
Ian, I definitely get to Zen with those connections for the artists, because it's kind of like in that mode, gearing up for the next push. And you know how it is trying to go through artists. Some of them are trash.
Yeah.
Just waste time trying to go through them. So if you have any connections to legitimate artists that the DAO can use without having to go through that, process of an elimination, that would be super helpful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I met some of the top people that made the art for the top meme coins. So those might be a little more expensive, but I can also just ask around because these young guys, man, they're young. They take it, they'll do it for cheaper, and they're good. Like, they know crypto. They're in crypto. They're here 24/7. And that way, us people, we don't have to I love memeing. I try to another way you can do stuff too, just to make your own memes, FYI. Look for a funny meme that goes viral. Follow some big accounts like F Jerry or let me think. There's a couple of them. I was looking at them today. And when they put a funny meme that goes viral, if you can twist that meme just a little bit to make it about pTGC or UFO, take that idea, make that meme, and post it. And post it on those big accounts. And that's how we'll get that. That's how we'll get flowing and get that motion.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, Ian. I feel like you came in on the perfect day.
Yeah.
We're kind of already talking about it, and you brought a lot of your experience, and of course, you just went over to Dubai and met with a lot of the people who are obviously excelling very well in this industry in that sector. So it's good to hear firsthand what they're doing and how it's working for them, and how we can also tap into that here on Pulse Chain.
For sure. Definitely, man. Just follow those meme accounts. You can even ask Grok, what are the top meme accounts in the space? Use AI as your tool, man. AI is super useful. It helps me make tweets. It helps me make images.
Yeah.
It's so easy this day. It's like anyone can really do it. You just have to take the time and continue to grow the skill and just grow the account. And instead of hating on these young kids who are making stupid money, let's just learn from them and grow. Because we want to be that next chain like Solana that outperforms every other blockchain, that meme coins go to multi-billions of dollars in market cap, that every crypto news outlet can't keep us out of their mouth because we're the only hot thing that's producing insane gains, where we start getting invited on Crypto Banner and all these big outlets to talk about the success. And those who have the convictions, those who have the receipts, they're going to get the clout, and then they're going to grow, and they're going to be the guys that look at. And all these small accounts that rise up, you have an opportunity to front run the crowd. The crowd is coming. You have an opportunity right now to stand out and be one of the top guys on this blockchain, and really capitalize on everything you guys have been working for. But guess what? Arguing in the chats, fighting over stupid drama, like stop that. I mean, what's the point? Like, what has it made you money? Okay, so every now and then you can put a wrecking tweet out, but that gives you a little bit of engagement. But at the same time, it's like, what's the heart behind it? Because it's what are we here for? So that's why I'll leave it at that, man. I'm gonna continue. I got to go do some stuff today, but I'm glad I came in. It was definitely God divine, perfect timing, and I learned a lot out there. I'm really inspired. My energy's high. I know Alpha's coming. I know they're coming. And I'm just excited to facilitate it and to bridge the connections. And I feel like I'm the first guy who can relate to all these big names and influencers and devs that didn't come at them with this stupid marketing, who got to know them first off. And, you know, obviously being in the UFC gave me a foot in, but I'm good at connecting people. I don't have the research that B-Roots has. I don't have the TA that B-Roots has, but I have the connections. And I'm good at connecting with people, and I'm good at showing them my convictions and letting them see the light of the opportunity that is over here. And so I'm pumped up. I found my niche. I'm excited to be that guy to connect everyone. And either way, man, whether you guys engage or take any value from this, get ready. Get ready. And I suggest some of you guys really work on growing. And I think pTGC is going to be the top meme protocol, meme with a utility protocol in this space, because they evolve and they're ready to work and they're ready to market and they're ready to pull the trigger on whatever it takes. So that's all I got. I appreciate you, Zen, Nick, Prairie, Mando, Coondog. So have a good weekend, guys. We'll be back. I'm going to start streaming with other people as well. So you're going to see me in different spaces, different streams. Come show up. Be a loud community. They'll be like, dang, Ian brought this crazy pTGC community with him. Wow. They're up there shilling pTGC. They're tagging pTGC all over the tweets of the spaces, of the Twitter spaces. Come in the live streams and be in the chat talking about pTGC. And people are going to be like, wow, that's a loud community. That's a bullish community I want to get involved in. And I had no idea. So I'm going to let them know. If you guys back me up, I think we're going to smash it even quicker. But I think at the end we win. That's all I got.
Ian, real quick on that. So you're going to start streaming a little bit more with a few other like influencers from other chains, kind of break out of the echo chamber. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, I bridged the gap. I stayed with 4 influencers. We had a 4-bedroom villa in Dubai, and they're all on the same page, man. They're looking for opportunity. They're hungry, and they're not maxis. They're ready to come to Pulse Chain and bring their communities over here. So we'll be in touch more about that. But yeah, I'm going to be streaming. B-Roots is probably going to come on a little bit too. We'll see. And of course, Crypto Kings is always first. B-Roots is my guy. We're going to continue doing what we do. And that's what people are in shock. Even when this bearish times, we had 4,700 people watching our stream yesterday. And that's between B-Roots' page, which obviously has the most views, but between my page and between YouTube. So that's a massive stream, right? That gets people looking. But as we continue to bridge out, go on other people's streams, go on other people's Twitter spaces, that's just going to continue to make more eyes come on here, make more people, hey, this is legit. This sounds fun. It doesn't sound some complicated, crazy Ponzi protocol. No, it's bullish for meme coins, and there's opportunity. And if you keep it that simple, it's very easy to shill. And people who have half a brain can see it and they recognize it, and you lock in with them right away, and they're ready to move. So that's all I got.
Hey, great energy today, Ian. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep it going, bro.
Yeah.
6 to 8 months. I am not stopping, bro.
Keep crushing it, Ian.
Yes, sir. You guys too, man. You guys are crushing it. I'm proud to be an early pTGC holder. I've made insane gains, and I can't wait till this thing breaks a multi-billion-dollar market cap, because I have conviction and not a doubt in my mind that it's gonna.
Yeah,
I
man.
probably would have.
I don't see how it doesn't go way past that.
Oh, for sure. It would have if Pulse Chain pumped on the last pump. It would have right then and there.
We were only almost a double away from that already, man. You know,
That's what I'm saying. And now you're holding, a $70 million floor. That's nice. And people also like that these coins don't just pump and dump and die. The good thing about Pulse Chain holders is they hold. That is one good thing. But let's back that holding up with conviction on Twitter and memeing and getting loud. Later, guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think the biggest topic that was kind of touched today is, Pulse Chain is what it is. We need to focus on onboarding new people, new money, new faces, and that's what it looks like Ian is doing with the Dubai conference, and that's what it looks like everybody should be doing with kind of spreading the word all over different Twitter posts, different Twitter users, different products, different platforms, and really trying to expand the brand. The only way the Pulse Chain goes up is you need fresh capital, and whether that's users already in here deploying their dry powder or getting new users. Obviously, there's plenty of capital in the broader crypto markets, because you have Solana, you have BNB, you have Ethereum, you have Base making moves, and then you have all the other ancillary ones that still exist, like Arbitrum, Polygon, etc. So the focus should be on how do we get those funds, those users, those players onto Pulse Chain, and they'll find their way to the best protocols, and one of the best protocols is obviously pTGC. So just focus on how do I get more people, more money onboarded to Pulse Chain. Even in my private DAO that I have, I did a poll, and only 60 to 70% of people still haven't done a single transaction on Pulse Chain. That means only 30 to 40% of people who pay me for advice got involved with the pTGC at the lows, got involved with UFO at the lows, got over to Pulse Chain and played the game that week one with Teddy and so many other assets. That's what people who are looking at me for advice and saw me do. We got in pTGC at 2 million and it ran to 350 million. We got involved in UFO at the launch and it ran up huge. We got involved in X at the launch and it ran up to 14 million. So sometimes it takes people time, seeing things multiple times to make the jump. And I did that poll because I'm like, guys, this is your second opportunity on the dip on pTGC. There's new assets launching on Pulse Chain. Bridge over. PulseChain.com just got the upgrade. It is now easier than ever to get people over to Pulse Chain. Simply say go to PulseChain.com, scroll down to ready to start ? And hit the bridge button. And you can be in. If you have funds on Ethereum, bridge it on in. Use PulseX like any other DEX, and you can get started. So, we just got to focus on continuing to get more users. Every user onboarded is another megaphone for Pulse Chain, because if they get on and they get some wins and they get green candles out of pTGC or whatever assets they're in, they're going to go tell all their followers, all their family members, and all their friends, this is the new chain. This is the upcoming chain. So it's on each and every one of you to get out of this echo chamber, stop recycling all the same old money, and bring in new users and new capital.
Yeah, 100%. I had a question that's a little off topic for anyone listening, or Mando, if you have something. I am looking for a website, and I'm sure there's one made. I just don't know it. And if there's not one made, I'm just really surprised, because the Hex community makes websites for about almost everything. Is there a website that tracks what PulseX is buying and burning on a daily basis?
I can get with the devs.
Okay, I'm trying to
for you.
find the best place to track that, like the easiest ultimately. Like I guess I could. It's kind of hard because like even on like the main sites, they'll like say like 7% burned, right? And I guess I could do the math daily and like see what the exact number is and then keep. But I just know that there's probably a site somewhere that makes it really easy to track it, just like how pTGC has a site that's really easy to track it. And we're obviously micro compared to PulseX, and that's like PulseX's main feature. And I'm really like, if anyone noticed 2 days ago, RH was heavily leaning into how powerful the buy and burn is. I personally think the buy and burn in any protocol is very, very important for sustainability long term. It's kind of creates a scenario that makes it very hard for other ecosystems to even compete with a protocol that has a heavy buy and burn built into it, because that's a purchase that's never going to ever be sold on the market again. And I'm highlighting the fact that PulseX and pTGC and UFO are so heavily bonded together. RH is also talking about the idea of how his products are so superior due to them being paired with an undervalued blockchain that still hasn't even run up. Well, we have the scenario where we're paired with an undervalued blockchain that still hasn't gone up, and PulseX is paired with that, which is bullish for PulseX. PulseX is also hyper deflationary, but then we're also hyper deflationary and then paired with PulseX. So it's like 3 levers with a successful pulse chain that are about to slingshot pTGC and UFO. And I'm trying to, every few days highlight the amount of supply of both pTGC and UFO, or pTGC and UFO and PulseX that are getting bought and burned. Because every day we're just ticking away at the supply. And I don't have a good site to like really get that information. So yeah, if you could, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I just put out a message to one of the core devs, see if I can get whether it's going direct to the protocol, because I know we can go direct to protocol, but I don't know if there's a site that aggregates that information or not.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, related to your post about burning pTGC and PulseX yesterday, your post on it, we burned 17 times more tokens than PulseX did. Now that was just, I think that was just one day, but if that's the beginning of a trend, that's a very significant difference.
Yeah. So you have to realize that was on the day what I believe is the worst volume day for PulseChain in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously low volume on PulseChain equals low volume on PulseX DEX, which equals low buy and burns for PulseX. I also was looking at the fact, because PulseX gets burned from a bounty, right? The users can burn PulseX and they get a little reward. That's how the PulseX buy and burn works. And if the volume's super low and the bounty isn't high enough, no one will buy and burn. So what I'm guessing is that no one was buying and burning pretty much for that day, which made it really, really, really low. I also got that data from PulseX's Telegram group, and that's the only place anyone's guided me to get that information. So that's why I'm kind of putting that question out there right now. Like, hey, does anyone have a better place I can get this information? Because I want to make sure I'm putting the right information out there as well. Not that I think that information was wrong. I just told you the reason why it was so low, but it's visually not like, I like to be able to see more things going on than just this Telegram bot feeding me the information.
Okay. I'm doing a little research while we're talking, and both Grok and ChatGPT, I asked it. I said, we're trying to market a meme coin on Twitter. Should we all post, like if we create an AI video, should we post the AI video from multiple Twitter accounts or from one main account and then repost? And both of these AI platforms agreed that we should post any videos from one account and then everyone retweet. It helps the algorithm. I just discovered that.
Yeah, and it should be for the main account.
Okay. That was another question I had.
If you're talking about official marketing, if you're trying to do official marketing, it should always be for the main account because that's where you're trying to drive all the traffic to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to do it. Yep. Okay, cool. Work and learn is what I call it. You know, there's that saying, live and learn. Yes, it's related, but get to work and then you learn how to work better. Work and learn. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I even think, Zen, even with your account, man, a lot of those posts should be coming to the main account and driving that information from the main account because that, you're separating the algorithms when you're doing that, So
yeah, I'm going to start using. Yeah, I'm going to change my tactics. I got to forsake my own gains of followers. If you follow me, and for the greater good.
Yeah, I think that what you're doing there, Zen, though, is very cool with the PulseX burns.
Yeah.
Very few people ever give alpha like that, or will even go ahead and try to attempt it. So, but I'll give you whatever I can get as soon as I hear back from anybody on that.
Yeah, if there's any websites that I can use that can give me a little bit better information than that Telegram bot that I can't even see a chart or any information to visualize it and make sure it's coming in accurately. The chat, that PulseX chat is literally dead. I'm the only one even requesting anything. So who knows if it's even working correctly or not. So I'm hoping there's a better resource than that. But yeah, it's very interesting, right? Because there's some things that I can see firsthand, on the topic for anyone listening who wants to know, I'm excluding the OA address in PulseX because if you include the OA address, the percentage that gets bought and burned is actually very, very small daily. But if you consider, and this is no guarantee, right? But I think a lot of people here on PulseChain consider the OA address just non-circulating supply. So if you remove that, I want to see how much of the supply PulseX is literally buying and burning out of existence every single day. If you exclude it, PulseX recently just passed 7% of supply bought and burn. pTGC is at 12% supply bought and burn. So we're a little bit more. I know a lot of that growth was in the earlier days when pTGC was very, very small in market cap, so we could really eat away at the buy and burn. But just in the last month, we've been really eating away at the supply due to our price being a little bit further down. And I do want to see, comparatively, one token that generates revenue off of the market moving up and down, or generates buy and burns off the market moving down, compared to the DEX doing the same thing, where they're getting a smaller fee, but they're getting it on every trade that happens on the DEX, to where we're not getting it on every trade, but we're getting a larger percentage buy and burns, and we're also a very, very small cup comparatively. So it's easier for us to buy and burn larger percentages due to us being such a smaller cup. And the data that I'm finding right now is when the Dow does buy and burns, and on good volume days for us, we're actually buying and burning more percent daily than PulseX, which is super, super awesome, right? And I don't mean that in a negative way to PulseX. It's just the facts I'm finding. PulseX has been buying and burning more dollar value, if that makes sense. So, let's say we have a $15,000 a day buy and burn, and PulseX has a $30,000. Well, yeah, that's twice the amount of value, but we're actually at times burning twice the amount of supply. So we're removing more supply off the market to the debt address, since our prices are so much cheaper than PulseX is at the moment. And the cool thing about it is both these assets are so heavily bonded together. We're actually working together to make each other successful. So when Pulse Chain becomes successful, when PulseX starts to move back up, when people really start to realize there's not a lot of PulseX on the market in general for the rest of the world, right? Like Ian was saying, like, these guys have kind of heard about Pulse Chain, but they're not in Pulse Chain. Like, they're eyeing it, like it looks like a very good opportunity, but I think they're waiting for a confirmation that it's not just a big scam and, you know, it's actually undervalued with maximum upside potential. I also brought up that I was watching this video of Ivan, and Ivan straight said, as soon as Richard confirms that he's going to start streaming again, he's coming to Pulse Chain, because he knows Richard is the best marketer in all of crypto. And all Richard has to do is come back on stream and tell people about his products, and he knows the product
Pulse Chain explodes. Pulse Chain explodes.
And that's and then you have to consider it. Ivan's thinking that. So this is what all these big names are thinking. They're like, hey, I'm ready to take action on Pulse Chain, but I'm waiting for Richard to take action on Pulse Chain. And then their money comes over, because their money's not here right now. And then you take into consideration, what if Richard starts bringing some money over? That's no guarantee either, but I really like to hear that, right? Like, no one's counting it out. They just want to see the founder start doing what he's done in the past to make his product successful. Because there's no denying, when Richard gets to work, when Richard starts marketing his own products, how he knows to market, they do well. And they know that.
Yeah, and you know, Dirty's been putting out some good posts about the Interpol thing too. You know, Richard's team not only is the best against the SEC, but they're highly recognized for dealing with the whole Interpol BS. So they're a very strong team on that side of things too, and it's kind of like A before B, you know. So I think that it'll be interesting, because we do have I think, what is the date? What was the date when he I think it was April 21st.
Yes.
April 21st was the date that the SEC came out and said they're dropping the case, or not dropping the case, that they're not going to continue to pursue it.
Yeah.
So, you know, 60 days from April 21st, because it is a 60-day time period, and you're looking at, what is this, June 20th. June 20th, after that date, Richard technically, from that vantage point, is free to do whatever he wants from that date. June 20th. But you can see that the activity, even for him, is ramping up. It's not like, you know, he's not doing anything. And that's the thing that people don't get, is that, you know, all of a sudden, PulseChain.com just got upgraded. He's talking about this. He's talking about that. He's getting much more talkative, right? Comments are back on. Website updated. You can just sense that things are gearing up pretty quickly. But yeah, why would you put your marketing efforts in, like an Ivan, before Richard shows back up? So I know it kind of sucks waiting for dates, but June 20th is 60 days from that date. So that's one to put on the calendar there.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll be stacking yield between now and then every day.
Yeah, I personally right now am actually actively making a list of some people that I want to onboard to pTGC that have never even heard of it. I've got 5 people that I'd like to onboard this coming up week that have plenty of money, and I think that they would enjoy being a part of something like this. Just on the investor side, not even, you know, I'm talking about the kind of guy where you help them get in and they're just investors, you know. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing is that they've stopped onboarding the pulse chain for whatever reason, right? It's time that if you were ever going to actually turn back on, we're in the middle of a bull run. Richard just won his case. June 20th, he gets set free. Everything is turning back on. So do you introduce people at the bottom or do you introduce people at the top? I mean, at the end of the day, it's you have people start with their Vegas money, their fun money. So many people are open to that. So many people want to, take a punt at something. I think Pulse Chain is a great punt currently right now, and I think right now represents the most max opportunity for that.
Yeah, probably shortest waiting time too, right? Like people have been waiting on Pulse Chain for 4 years from sacrifice, 3 years? I forget what it is now, but and they technically put in value 3x higher. Well, people are actually giving an opportunity right now to get 3 times the amount, which obviously every alt token is undervalued by 70% or 3x as well, since we're all built on this blockchain. So crazy opportunity right now. And if you believe the bull market isn't over, markets should start moving up soon, which then means the people you're onboarding don't have to wait around for 4 years. They technically could be in and out within 6 months if they don't want to stay long term. Maybe they do want to stay long term because they like what they see and they believe in the system once they learn about it. That's what we prefer. We want to onboard people and then them learn and then be like, wow, this is something that I've actually been looking in the financial product for. Just doesn't really exist in the real world. Blockchain is now creating this whole new realm of possibilities where you can actually make decent X's and get gains against inflation. But they'll never know it exists if you don't bring it up to them. And if you're going to bring it up to them, might as well bring it up to them at the bottom. Harder to bring it up to them at the bottom, right? Like Pulse Chain breaking stack price or running back up to stack price, that's definitely an easier chart to show someone and give them the facts. And then obviously at that point, pTGC will be probably in an uptrend just due to Hart's Law. You could literally say no buys would come in and pTGC could be going right after its all-time high in that event. With buys coming in and buy and burns and stuff, could be easily breaking all-time highs. But where I'm getting at is easier to sell them on the product at that point, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's better for them. Harder on you. You have to really educate them. Can't just show them the chart. You need to really give them the facts. Kind of have to explain to them risk to reward. Very little risk at low levels, maximum reward. As prices go higher and higher and higher, easier to sell, but more risk to reward at those points.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
You know, one of the low-hanging fruits I still don't understand, it's tough for me to get my head around, is why Somi, who loves UFOs, puts out videos and is so enthusiastic, has still not got behind this ecosystem. Because when you were talking about Ivan Tech, like, he follows Somi to a T. And if he, if we're able to somehow reach out to Somi and just give him a little wake-up call, and somehow he puts some more investment into this ecosystem to what he already has, I think, just starting some of those low-hanging fruits that already have huge followers could be a good place to start.
Man, Somi's like a top call for everything he gets involved with, bro.
That's true, though. That's the only thing. True, man.
Yeah, I would say.
But he pumps those videos out, those UFO videos. He just gets into them big time.
Yeah, I would say like when we were heavily on his radar, like he gave us a few shout outs, like, hey, PTGC, the unicorn of, I think that's what he said, the unicorn of Pulse Chain, pretty much the only thing that's been able to go up. So we've gotten a few shout outs here or there, but obviously I don't know if he grabbed a bag. I think he was just giving us a shout outs like a, hey, good job, guys. Maybe because he felt like he missed, but I do think it's a great idea. Because obviously he's passionate about aliens and UFOs. That's why I do believe this mascot is one of the best out there. It's such untapped marketing ability is insane that there isn't a top 100 alien-based meme coin or mascotted utility protocol, whatever you want to call it, in this industry. We have it, right? Like it's like we have the golden tickets that are in our hands. We just have to we just have to cash it in. We have to act on the great opportunity we have. It's kind of like you're throwing this perfect pass, and people drop perfect passes all the time. So we have to really lock in and make sure we catch this pass to win the game, right? We have the perfect pass in us. We can't look away, get distracted by noises or whatever, or nerves and drop it. We got to catch it and run it in. But one of the things is our community's been super quiet, right? Like in the recent months, I don't see a lot of people going in comments trying to educate people. I don't see a lot of people creating art. I don't see people saying, hey, Somni, we know we've been on your radar before. We're at an 80% dip right now with PTGC and UFO. It's a great opportunity. We haven't gone anywhere because, right, if we're not commenting at the bottom, he's probably thinking, oh, where are they, right? He's got a lot of things on his desk. So he might think that the community has dissolved. But if we're coming in strong with tons of comments, every single post, any influencer is going to attract to who is pushing his algorithm. If we're commenting on his stuff and he's not even talking about PTGC and UFO, he's going to say, wow, if I join this community, think about how much engagement they're going to give me, because any influencer cares about price going up and engagement, right? Half of their business is the engagement of the community that he's talking about. So, one of the things is you wonder why he gravitated so hard to the PDI narrative. A good portion of, I think he believed in it, right? I think he believed it.
He didn't believe in it. He futtered it at first.
Well,
only when it went way down to the bottom, and he picked it up at the bottom, did he start promoting it. That's what happened, and that's his MO. He waits till he dies, and then he picks up a bag, and then he starts promoting it.
Okay, well, we're pretty low right now, and where I'm getting at though is the PDI community were engaging with him heavily. It was content that he could produce because there's all these things moving on. There's tons of people liking and retweeting and watching his videos. Half of his business is the engagement of the communities that he's talking about.
Yeah.
If our community isn't giving anyone engagement, it's going to be hard for us to get influencers. By just engaging with influencers and commenting and tweeting and saying, check this out, they're going to talk about us free of charge. Because how we're paying them is by the interaction.
I mean, this is a good stream. I think that there's a few individuals on here that will really start doing what you're saying now, Zen. But yeah, with Somi, I just, because, our mascots are awesome. And so you pick that up. But then, big believer in the core tokens. And then you get someone like Ivan on Tech, when Pulse Chain actually starts pumping and people feel like they've missed out on the initial pumps. But then you start spinning our tokens because we're an index for all the core tokens. And that's something that Somi loves looking at as well. He loves looking at, the relevance to, from what our Pulse Chain has to, everything inside crypto and out of it as well, and how the index, the index type tokens haven't really made their way into crypto yet, but we have that here. So you can start playing on that as well, and that's something that can be fed up through the chain all the way to Ivan. So I think there's a few of us here that I think are going to start. Just take the advice today and actually start actively throwing out these tweets now and posts and targeting certain individuals that are more low-hanging fruit. But yeah, I'm a little bit mindful of that, man. Know what you were saying before? It's kind of like, do we or don't we? But yeah, food for thought.
Yeah, he lost me, but he lost me with the ball in his mouth, dude.
Yeah.
I think the important thing is, like, we all have only so much time. Like, I don't know about all you, but, you know, I go to work every single day. We're all busy, kids, wives, families, right? So we all only have so much time. So I think it's just important for us all to say, okay, well, how much time do I have? Like, I don't know if you have a lot into pTGC or little into pTGC. Obviously, if you have a lot, there is a lot more financial reward for working hard for it, because if it goes up, you obviously multiply your bag that much more. But, you know, think about how much time do you have, and if it's a very little, think of 5, 10, 20 influencers you wish were talking about pTGC and UFO, right? And make sure that every time they're tweeting, you're reminding them as one of their loyal followers, hey, I'm in this and I want you in it too. Like, hey, I'm in this and I want you in it too. Hey, I'm in this and I want you in it too. If Somni's one of those ones for you, then he's not going to be for everyone. Like Mando was saying, it's like he kind of lost Mando a little bit, but that's okay. You don't have to. It's you, right? You don't have to listen to Mando. If Somni is someone you want in, stay on him and delegate a little bit of your time every day to him, or it could be someone else. Like Mando's might be Ivan on Tech. Well, then maybe Mando kind of chimes in on Ivan on Tech every single time. And as a community, if we all are working these different directions and one of them hits, like maybe you don't land Somni, but Mando lands Ivan, heavy win, right? It's divide and conquer. And that's what's so cool about crypto is it's like the ultimate divide and conquer scenario is everyone's just working for their own bags. But if one person wins, if Mando gets that Ivan, or if you get Somni, or, you know, if Banana gets Ram, you know, if we get these influencers, especially free of charge, right? Like if they just see how engaged and how awesome the protocol is, and it makes sense. Like Richard didn't pay any of these guys to talk about Hex. They eventually were forced to talk about Hex because the community was so loud and the product was so loud. The price chart was so loud. And that's the direction I hope we're all working towards as a community.
Yeah, I think that's a great strategy, Zen, because, you know, a lot of us don't have a lot of time in the real world, you know, in the real world to sit in front of the screen all day and just, you know, pump out content. So if we target a few individuals who really want to get across or get on board, then and just target those, then maybe it does. It's better, you know, focused energy.
Well, dude, the oldest saying, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? Be that squeaky wheel, and don't be that squeaky wheel like just being annoying, like no content, no like you in the post. Like by just writing pTGC on it, like that's not grabbing them. But if you're showing actual effort in the response to who you're responding to, so you don't just look like a bot account, eventually that's going to get their attention. If every single response, a little tweaked, a little different with good alpha, good information, stuff we actually want them to know about the protocol, or a hilarious meme, right? Like we know Somni loves hilarious memes. Maybe we get his attention with alpha, with the DeFi utility. Maybe we get his attention with a hilarious meme. That's also what's super awesome is we can tap into both as a protocol that has the ability to be both, and we try a couple different things, and eventually the world is very, very rewarding to people who put in effort. It's very non-rewarding to people who don't do shit. So I think as a community, we need to put in a little bit more effort, and I speak for myself, right? I need to put in a little bit more effort instead of just focusing on doing a tweets on my main account to also do tweets or comments on some accounts of people who I'm looking to educate on, because the chances of them finding my account is little, but the chances of them finding my comment is high, right? So I need to tweak my strategy a little bit more, but I do think the world is really rewarding to people who work hard. Not that we haven't been working hard, but I do think it's an important time to not let up on the gas, but to push down on the gas and really just keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, this is educational because, you know, like I've really only been on X for the last, you know, not even 6 months. So, you know, I'm very new to the space and working out how it actually works. But yeah, it's like, you know, a few of us who don't have a lot of time, like myself, focus on certain low-hanging fruits that we want to really grab their attention and get them to start picking up, you know, this ecosystem, this sub-ecosystem. Maybe that's better focus than just, yeah, cool.
Yeah, like Somni, I think Somni with real effort is actually a somewhat easily achievable one. He's pretty interactive. Like, you can pretty much get a hold of him on his YouTube. You can get a hold of him on his Twitter. You can get a hold of him on his own Telegram with decent effort of showing him support while also, like, straight up asking, like, hey, like, this is a product I'm passionate about. I think it's going to be one of the biggest things, not only on PulseChain, but in crypto. What do I need to do to get you in here? You're passionate about aliens. You're passionate about UFOs, and just keep on them for more than once a month. And I would actually be surprised if it wasn't easily achievable to just get him to just be like, dude, this community is working hard at me. They want me on board. Like, people want to go places they're wanted. This is basic human nature. You don't want to go places that you're not welcomed. But if you're being welcomed, sooner or later you're going to walk in the door and be like, okay, why do you guys want me here so bad? Like, I feel super welcomed. And we want these people to feel welcomed. We don't want to, you know, talk negatively on them, even if you don't agree with everything they're doing. Like, I don't agree with everything a lot of people do, but I still support them and want them part of our community. And I agree that I would also say tons of people probably don't agree with everything I do, but they still support me and believe in the protocol as well. Because we're all different, we all have different ideas, but that doesn't change the code within pTGC and UFO. The code's the code.
Totally. And I think, like, you know, if I'm just using something as an example here, it's not the only low-hanging fruit, but just an example. And then the next step is Ivan on Tech, because he picks up and talks a lot and talks to Sommi and a lot about what Sommi's doing. And then I'm just thinking as well, you know, the website that Ivan on Tech has created, what's it called, Morales? I haven't checked. Were we listed?
Yeah, we're listed.
Okay, so then, you know, there's another angle as well, and then just really pushing that whole, we're a meme coin, we're a utility coin, but we're actually you know, and then you start bringing in the index and how we're tied heavily with all the cores. And yeah, so anyway, this is giving me ideas now. So yeah, this will focus my energy.
Yeah, I think it's ideas for all of us, right? Like, I think we've been doing great so far. We've been doing great for almost 2 years now. But I think as an ecosystem, we can always improve and get better. And then as individuals, we can always improve and get better and, you know, try different marketing strategies, see what sticks, what doesn't. Like, one thing I think Banana's trying with these videos is he's going to try some educational videos, 30 seconds of more serious content, and then probably try some more no real utility like content at all, just a fun video or a fun image. And let's put both of those out there and see what the general crypto market attracts to most. If they're attracting towards the fun, more like meme style content and not so much the utility, that doesn't mean we're not going to still talk every day about the utility. Like, this is what me and Banana love talking about, but it will tell us, hey, you guys need to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and create a couple more fun images or fun videos, because by looking at the likes and the views on Twitter, this is what's getting the attention, not your numbers, right?
Yeah, could be.
I think that's one reason why Somni does so well. Is that some people, like, Mando was saying he didn't like the ball in his mouth, but he remembered it, right? He saw it. So I'm not telling Banana to put no ball in his mouth or anything like that, but I definitely think we could be a little more fun and a little bit more entertaining and we are a very serious protocol, but you can also make people feel comfortable by making it feel less serious. So I used to work for both Chase Bank and Capital One, and Capital One in my area, California, they started turning all of their locations, or a good portion of their locations, to Capital One cafes. And what they were finding is the new generation likes to do serious conversations in comfortable settings. So when people are talking about banking and finances and investments, it actually makes more sense to make them feel comfortable in a cafe where you're giving them a coffee and a pastry, instead of putting them in a cubicle with one guy, right? And this was done with tons of studies for them to literally put probably hundreds of millions of dollars in location renovations to change this. Well, we can look at this and say, okay, well, how can we make people feel more comfortable or make the situation more fun? Well, we can't hand them pastries, but we can do a couple fun images here or there to let them know that we do have a light, funny side, or portray we have somewhat of a light, funny side, even though me and Banana are both very serious people. But
so somebody really does. He loves the satire, he loves JPA, he loves the comic, and just the cartoon type images with throwaway comments. And he's from my neck of the woods, so this is enlightening history on what we can do moving forward.
yeah, cool.
Thanks, Dan. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming up and adding your 2 cents. I appreciate it.
Zen, that video that we posted the other day, I actually posted it from my X account. It was an 30-second AI video. It has 1,400 impressions. I think that's a good start. I'm impressed with the number of impressions that I got from my account. But we can do better. I know we can do better.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a learning curve for you and I, right? That's why definitely welcoming with open arms anyone who excels in this side of the industry. Like, I definitely will be the first one to raise my hand and say I don't excel in video creation or memeing. I'm not really I'm very utility and numbers based. I understand that there's a purpose for them. That's why we gave pTGC and UFO the fun mascot and the fun memeability. But if anyone in our community does excel in this area, we're trying to spread our wings a little bit, understanding that me and Banana are so numbers based that we want to try to also tap into the non-numbers people at least a little bit, right? If not for us, at least some of our community would rather use more fun imagery and videos to help onboard to the ecosystem. And then me and Banana can hit them with the numbers, right? Because the numbers don't lie. Once people hear the numbers and understand the numbers, the aha moment kicks off. But if we don't get them in the door in front of Banana or I, they never hear them, right? So we need to make sure that we're getting them in the door so we can hit them with the information. And again, we're trying to try a few different ways and use the mascot to our advantage. And if anyone's really good at using mascots to their advantage, memeing, cool imagery, videos, educational videos, imagery, please step up and try to help out, because me and Banana are going through a learning curve right now.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we learned a lot in the, just this week about videos. and we're excited to put videos out into the public. Ian was a powerhouse of energy this morning and information too. I missed a lot, because I'm doing a lot here in my office while we're in spaces, but I'm going to re-listen to it, man. I think he had a lot of wise things to say that we can put into practice. And I'm very excited to put those things into practice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important to be prepared and ready for any outcome that Pulse Chain's going to offer. A lot of us don't know what is going to bring the masses to Pulse Chain. We don't know the complete plan of Richard, right?
Yeah.
If the plan of Richard is to just pump his token, make people come. But, in the more recent months, it looks like he is kind of pulling on the meat strings a little bit. He launched Pump.Tires. So I do think it's important for us as an ecosystem to say, hey, we want to make sure every angle is covered so nothing can catch us by surprise. If we have every angle covered and nothing can catch us by surprise, as the market, as the narrative, as everything changes around us, as what does bring the green candle to Pulse Chain, as that unfolds, if that unfolds, like we're even prepping for no green candles to come to Pulse Chain and it be all on us 100% to change our own futures. Like we even have that base covered to an extent. That base is a lot harder to cover and it takes a lot more effort and a lot more onboarding. But what we are prepping for is every scenario possible. And if we prep for every scenario possible, that means any outcome can't catch us by surprise. However this next year goes, however the next 6 years goes, 10 years goes, if you're constantly prepping for every single situation to play out, nothing is a surprise. And then we can adapt accordingly.
Yep.
And that's really all you can do, right? Like that's all we can do. Wake up every day and work our hardest and try our best. Luckily, we have such a strong foundation of code to stand on and keep working in the direction that we believe in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we've been on for a couple hours.
Yeah. If no one has anything else, I'm down to shut it down soon. I'm actually at work today at the office, so I have plenty of stuff to work on. If no one has any questions or conversations, did you get any questions or conversations on YouTube today, Banana?
Oh, I did have one question. But I do want to make a comment before we post this question. And that is, guys, we are going to be creating AI videos and posting them from the Grays account. And if you guys will just interact with those posts by liking, making a comment, and retweet with a quote, like say something, like put your comments about just anything, because the algorithm, not anything, but the algorithm prefers reposts that have a comment. I learned that this week. So please engage with in particular, our video posts, because the algorithm also promotes and prefers video posts. So the question is from Bishop. He says, "Hey Prairie, can you ask the guys what their take is on RH not liking tax coins, and how the Grays coins is different than many other reflection tokens?"
Yeah, I definitely hear him, right? The reflection token has gotten a very, very bad rap for obviously in the past them not succeeding due to supply and demand issues, right? Is they run out of demand and then the utility gets turned off when they run out of demand, which then makes it have no reason to exist. I do think the ability, the innovation that we created with creating the liquidity web, making it to where the fee just constantly happens with even no human interaction, is very unique, and it hasn't been done before. And I do think it's going to create a new, it's kind of already created a new wave of evolution for fee on transaction tokens to where they can actually be used in a productive way, especially with 100% of the fees actually being used to increase the protocol's value. I find it actually kind of funny because there is a fee to everything at a point, right? Like, to interact with Pulse Chain, it costs a fee, right? It costs you gas. You can't interact with a blockchain without paying a fee if you want that blockchain to remain relevant and last forever. To interact with the DEX, there is a fee. To operate the business of the DEX, it costs a value. And that also goes to liquidity providers. When you shop at a store and you buy goods, there's a fee. They're not giving you those foods for free. A lot of things, if you want to go and enjoy an amusement park, they're not just letting everyone in free to enjoy an amazing day for free. There's a fee. I think in the past, the fees were used not in good ways, and they didn't find out a sustainable way to really make them thrive. I do think we're tapping into uncharted territories with this idea. It's a brand new innovation that's unique to us, and it gives us the opportunity to thrive. I also think the fact that Richard doesn't like fee on transaction tokens creates a really great opportunity for someone who's not Richard Art to step up and create something that isn't literally just something he already has, that's unique to us, that technically he doesn't even want to compete against us with, right? He's so against it that I don't even see him coming out with fee on transaction tokens. But it's like he has meme coins. He has his own meme coins. He has his own DeFi protocols. He has his own DEXs. He has his own chain. But this is something that he's like almost unwilling to tap into, or maybe he will one day. Maybe he changes his beliefs. Maybe he just sees the success and says, oh, I can create my own one of these and it would be awesome, right? We don't know. Maybe we'll change his belief. It seems like recently he's changed his belief on meme coins. If you asked him 3 years ago what he thought about meme coins, I think he would have said very negative things. But here he is launching pump tires and technically launching most token. So I do think views can change, and what his views are based off previously is reflection tokens died off. They weren't successful. But I think we've made a ton of improvements to the reflection token, along with a lot of other things, right? There's a lot of things within pTGC, not just a reflection token. There's more than just a buy and burn token. And you can't just look at one aspect of it and define the whole protocol just because there's a fee on the transaction. There's so many things within pTGC that make pTGC pTGC, or so many parts within UFO that make UFO besides just the fee on transaction. But I do think the chart's going to have to speak for itself. The thing that matters the most is not individual views, but if the product actually has market fit and has a reason to exist. If we prove to have a reason to exist in market fit and we hold tons of value of crypto, there's no denying it, right? And the thing is, you have to pay to play. If you want to be involved in a system like pTGC and UFO, there is a fee on entry. And some people are for it, some people aren't, but we have to keep in mind some of the biggest industries in the world operate off of fee on transactions. Credit card processing companies, which in the last 15 years have been one of the most profitable companies that exist. Fee on transaction company. Exchanges are pretty much turning into the modern day banks. And when you interact with exchanges, there's a fee on transaction. So what a good business person would do is take notes of what the most successful businesses that have existed and have became in the last 20 years and pay attention to what worked for them, right? And I do believe a lot of the value that they've generated has came from the fee on transaction. So it makes sense to incorporate that with blockchain, in my opinion.
Well, that was a very thorough answer, Zen.
Yeah, probably a little too much.
No, that's good, man. It's needful. It leaves out any ambiguity. Well, man, I don't see any other questions on YouTube.
Yeah. If no one has anything else, no one wants to add anything, I'm down to shut it down. I appreciate everyone coming in today. Ian definitely gave us some great information on what he was seeing at the crypto conference in Dubai, which was super awesome. We have community members all over the place gathering information for us to succeed, so that's really beneficial for us. And let's actually use the information people are bringing to us to our benefit instead of just letting it go away to the side.
Yep, we intend to. I'm excited, man. We're gonna get to work, man. We're gonna crush it this cycle, in my opinion. I like what Ian said about we're gonna crush it this cycle. Like Pulse Chain and the Grays are gonna do fine. But this is my same mindset. I agree with that, and I know that's gonna happen. However, I like to get my hands dirty. I like to get to work and like have and participate in the success. Right? There's nothing more gratifying than getting to work and then getting the work done and then looking back and viewing the work that was accomplished, right? It's satisfying. It's like I told somebody earlier this week, like, there's no satisfaction in not cutting the grass. You got to go cut the grass, and then you get to sit and enjoy an iced tea and enjoy the satisfaction of having worked cutting the grass.
So this is important, in my opinion, for people to pay attention to. It's a huge difference to double your net worth, even to double your passive income or double your income. If someone said, "Hey, Banana, I have this job for you. I'm going to pay you $100,000 a year," and then someone else came up to you and said, "Hey, Banana, I have this other job for you. It takes a little bit more work, but the pay for this is $200,000 a year," right? Huge difference. In a yearly salary, someone's like, "Oh my gosh, that's a huge difference. I'll put in a little bit more work for double the amount of money." Well, think about PTGC and UFO at the same level. With PTGC and UFO, we know if Pulse Chain's successful, we're going to be successful. Yeah, this is good. But what's a little bit more work? Well, to do a 2x from here, so let's say someone holds $10,000 of PTGC and we all put in a little bit work, and we do a 2x over Pulse Chain just right now. Well, a 2x is only like, I think, $2 million brought into PTGC. Well, that's like nothing in the grand scheme of things. That's like absolutely nothing. But a 2x, that just turned that guy's value from $10,000 to $20,000. Well, what happens if Pulse Chain does 100x? Well, that just turned his asset into a $1 million asset to a $2 million asset. It doubled his net worth, especially if he doesn't have a lot of net worth in other assets. It's like he's mainly in crypto right now. A 2x is a big deal. And at these low levels of Pulse Chain, it only takes like $2 million injected into PTGC to do a 2x. $10 million could probably get us like a 5x, right? I'm not looking at it in front of my computer. I'm looking to PTGC. But what I'm saying is a little bit of effort now can equal a lot of money in the future. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just a 2x is a big deal when the numbers start to multiply out. That's the difference between 1 million and 2 million. 2 million, 4 million. 4 million, 8 million. 8 million, 16 million. And a 2x is very, very easy at these levels. Anything we can do against Pulse Chain in the meantime before Pulse Chain goes makes us that much more massive when Pulse Chain goes. And at the low levels, it takes very little value injected in.
Rufus is asking for a summary of what Ian talked about. And that might be a good idea to summarize what he said anyhow, to kind of have a recap. And one of the takeaways, Rufus, that I got was that we need to be replying to posts. Like, we need to follow some of the largest meme coin people in the space and reply to their posts and drop art in the comments. That was a very brief. Sorry.
Yeah, I think interesting replies, right, implies that have very fun or interesting context to them, not just bland replies, but replies that are going to get engagement to profiles that are larger than ours, to get our products in front of the bigger names. I think our community stepping up a little bit and getting a little bit louder. We have pretty much one of the biggest assets on Pulse Chain, hovering around a $7 million market cap, all-time highs of a $300 million market cap. But our community engagement is very low for the size we are. So he thinks that we need to bump up our community engagement, because the people that he's connecting with are looking for products like pTGC and UFO. He's already put them on their radar. What we need to do now is show them that we're still here and that we're alive and that we're working, because they're going to attract to the communities that are willing to work for their bags, right? If you were to start working for a business, would you, or have partial ownership, right? When you own a product in crypto, you're like having partial ownership of it because you own the tokens. So if you're going to start working for a product and own part of the product, you want to make sure that other people that own the product are willing to work just as hard as you. Because if you go into a business, a partnership, even if there's thousands of partners, you want to know that those people are working hard alongside you, that you all are working hard, not that you're the only one working hard and everyone else is just getting dragged along for the ride. I'm sure everyone has been on teams in business where they're the only one working and the rest are just letting that one guy pull all the weight. Or even in school from when we're all younger, if you were the one just sitting there and someone else is doing all the work, it's not fun to be in those situations. What it is fun is when you're on a sports team or a business team or a school team and everyone's pulling their weight and working hard together. Well, usually the end product is absolutely amazing and the energy is absolutely amazing as well.
That's good, man.
And if we want people to join our team, we have to show them that we're team players. We're not just thinking they're going to do all the heavy lifting for us.
Right.
Because who wants to be on that team? No one.
No. Yeah, I want to be on the team that's, moving and shaking, man. I'll be honest.
100%. Me too.
All right, man. Speaking of moving and shaking, I'm itching, man. I'm itching to get to work. I'm itching to get. I have other work I got to do too, but I'm like, I just want to be in my office working on Gray's currency stuff, but that's gonna have to wait till Monday usually.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, I'll shut it down. Thanks for coming in, everyone. Thanks for speaking, Coondog, Nick, Banana. I'll shut it down. See you guys.
Upward and onward.
Yeah, that's right, man. Okay, that was fun, man. Whoa. I am really excited, man. I got that. I think Ian did a great job. He did a great job, man. I'm going to download that and re-listen to it. I'm so pumped, man. I appreciate having clarity of what I need to do, right? There's nothing worse than having some idea what you got to do, but it's just like not all put together. Like, it's a hindrance to getting work done. But now I got focus. I think I have clarity of what needs to happen. We need to post from the main account, not my account, not somebody else's account. We need to leverage that main account. And then what I'm asking everybody else to do, like myself included, repost with a quote and interact with the with the post. So that's what we're going to start doing. And I'm going to run this by Zen, but I think we're going to just lean in to that main account for our engagement. That's one of the biggest things that we got to do. Yeah, man. Woo. Guys, I hope you have a great day. I'm going to go get some work done, tie up some stuff here, and get to my physical work. And I hope everybody's doing great and you have a great weekend. See you on the next Spaces. Bye.